Petersen Auto Museum, and you're first greeted with this Countach 1980s. This one is a 1985 LP 5000. The first practical car. It's a 1886 Benz patent motor wagon, and it's a replica. This is a road-going racer by Mercedes, 1913 Type 35J raceabout. Floorboard. These were designs developed in 1927 and 1950s. Early LA Survivor 1900 Smith Roundabout. Brave New World 1924 Mercedes Tiger Folio. Top speed was 87 miles an hour, 95 horsepower. Vintage brass era beauty 1904 motorcycle, 35 miles per hour, 3.5 liter or horsepower.
Mercedes Benz represented again. Spoke wheels, little luggage compartment there, and of course the world famous Mercedes-Benz logo.
And this was the motor that was in it. Art Deco doozy, 1933 Duesenberg. This was the GPS from 1913. Book maps. Oh my goodness. Xkss. A Delahaye Type 145 Coupe, 1938. Two-tone, blue with maroon.
Elvis looks like candy.
Yeah, it does.
So silly.
Very first unimotor wheel bicycle. Believe it or not. Think. Super Allegra. Oh no. Okay, so this is taking flight with a Gullwing 1955 LS 300, super light, and it had won the. It was one of the winners of the Le Mans, 24-hour of Le Mans. You could pack your clothes back there.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, this is a Gullwing. It had It had won Le Mans 4 times in a row. And this is my favorite. This car so this is the Xkss 1956, formerly owned by the famed Mr. Cool Steve McQueen. Top speed was 150 miles an hour. This is to me the most beautiful car ever built. The fact that it was owned by Steve McQueen. He raced James Dean in this many times. James Dean in his 356 Porsche. This one had the power in the straights, but James had the shorter stance and it stopped quicker in the corners. Production prototype 1959 250 GT Berlinetta. That was owned by Steve McQueen. Carol Shelby's AC Cobra 1962, 160 miles an hour, 360 horsepower, 7-liter V8. He raced 24 hours of Le Mans in this and won. It is a fine car. Come on. Turn. Keep on flying. Keeping on with Carroll Shelby. This might have been his Le Mans winner. GT40 Ford. First mid-engine supercar. Well, 306 horsepower, but this was let's see, street legal race car of Le Mans. It is a Le Mans winning vehicle. The engine's back there. There's a cockpit. Some hood ornaments of the eras, different eras. Some of the gauges. Dashboard, fabrics.
Yeah. So all the should be volunteers should be here. Once she counts, once she gets 100 count, I direct you to the first one. I'll put it out there.
Here's Lamborghini's first supercar. A turning point for Lamborghini. 1968 Miura with the pop-up headlights. And they look like eyelashes. Gated shifter. This is Bertoni Stratos Lancia. (1974) Stradale. See how unusual the window opens at an angle? Lovely car. And here's the BMW's M1 1981. First attempt at a high performance vehicle. Mid-engine. Mint condition, real clean, beautiful. It's like a midnight blue, almost metallic, quite lovely. Ferrari's Testarossa. Not used to the black color in this era, but it's real nice. It's the 1989 Testarossa. There's a 1989 Porsche roof, Yellowbird. And with the whale wing tail, another look at the Testarossa. This one has a roll cage, performance by Roof. America's attempt at supercar, early 90s, the Vector W8 was not successful. It was supposed to be the LA supercar, 1993 W8, only 242 horsepower or miles per hour and 625 horsepower. That was actually pretty good. Just couldn't stop or steer. This is the 1991 NSX, Japan's answer to all supercars. In 1991. Still a beautiful car, great. And it's a manual. Great example of Japanese engineering back then. And Jaguar's super hypercar. That wasn't. Should have been a V12. It became a V6 turbo, the XJ220. Very expensive car, very beautiful. XJ220 was a street race car, 213 miles per hour. And 542 horsepower with a 3.5 liter V6 turbo. This is another of America's private owned supercars, Steve Saleen S7, 2003 competition package, top speed 220. 550 horsepower back in 2003 was okay. 7 liter V8, Windsor V8. It was a number 78 built. All the ducking to keep the rear engine rear mounted, or should I say mid mounted in V8. There's a look at it. This was a race car only, I think. If you see it in the streets, you're lucky. And it's got the big wing in the back, angled correctly for downforce. And here's Koenigsegg's, I think. No, This is Maserati's supercar. Another look at the back of the Celine. Got the scoop on top to cool the mid-mounted engine. Push button shifting with the paddle shifters. Vented hood. This is a 2005 Maserati Mc12. This was Le Mans. Yes, a Mercy. A 2003 Murcielago with a gated shifter. Great presentation back there. Oh, okay. This was actually the actual car driven in the Fast and the Furious. Fate of the Furious 2017. It's a 6.2 liter V12, 205 miles per hour, 571 horsepower. That one was in the Fast and the Furious movie.
Yeah, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
Fate of the Furious. Another Ferrari. Out of the box. 1984. 518. BBI. 188 horsepower, a mile per hour. 340 horsepower. 1007 estimated built with a 5.0 liter V8. Ferrari, I want to say it's the F50. This is my favorite Ferrari of the 1990s. It is the F40. Pristine condition. Clear glass rear, so you can see the engine. The finest example of Ferrari back in 1991. This is one of my favorites. Just beautiful car, whether it handled very good or not. Behind it, we have the Enzo Ferrari, the last one by Enzo in 2004, before he passed on. Incidentally, he towed Jaguar on the E-Type. Jag that the Jaguar E-Type was the best, most beautiful car ever built. At the time, of course, but I think it still is. I don't know what this is.